Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cambria, and I wanted to discuss, as the title shows, something a little bit more serious and dear to my heart that hopefully going through my experience may help others or may, inspire others to do better than I did. So, I do want to discuss domestic violence. So, disclaimer, if that topic possibly is a trigger warning for you, this may not be for you, because I will get into detail on certain things. But if this is something you want to explore and discuss together, then stay tuned. So I want to definitely say that I have been in a domestic violence situation in a relationship. And this happened to me in multiple ways. In a lot of ways, I didn't even know it was happening. So I kind of want to break down my personal experience and how I overcame what I went through. I was in a relationship from high school, and actually it was before that. It was from junior high school, and I didn't see signs of domestic violence until I was in college. And so what do I mean by signs? So the signs that I now know that I did not know as a teenager was the possessiveness of the partner, always needing to know where I was, who I was with, what I was doing at all times. At that age, and I'm talking about 15, 16 years old, I'm thinking that's cute and that was adorable, and he wants to be by my side always, and he always wants to be with me, not knowing that those were red flags for more to come. So that's one tip or one red flag that I really want to stress on. If you're truly with someone who cares about you and loves you, and there's a level of trust that should be there, even if it has to be earned, and they don't need to know where you're at 24/7. I mean, it's good to have that communication, that fluid communication, where you tell the person that you love, hey, I'm going to go to the store real quick and I'll be back, just for safety reasons, as opposed to where you're going, why are you going, what are you doing there? And those were the type of questions I would get, not knowing, again, because I was a teenager, that this is not correct and this is not healthy. So again, now fast forwarding, I'm graduating high school, I'm still with this person, and I decide to go to college, and not just any college. I want to go to college out of state. So I want to move away from everyone and start fresh and start my undergraduate degree. Another red flag, my partner at the time was not supportive, didn't want me to move, didn't want me to succeed in that capacity. And again, me being a teenager at this time, I think I'm 17 years old, I'm thinking that, oh, that's cute, he doesn't want me to leave, he wants to be by my side, as opposed to, why would you not want me to go to college? Why would you not want me to succeed? We can make this work. So I still went anyway. I went to college out of state. I actually boarded at college, so I did the whole live-in, room-in for the 4 years there. Within the first year, the phone calls were excessive. And again, being naive, being ignorant to the signs, thinking that's cute, I thought that was normal. Because again, I was not taught by anyone on what to look out for and what were the red flags. So the phone calls, the long distance phone calls, were excessive, and they were all times of the day, And I'm thinking, what's going on? I mean, anyone knows they go to college, you have a school schedule. And what I did, I would communicate my school schedule and I would know and tell this person, these are the times I'm in class. So obviously, and this is before cell phones were a real thing, so that's showing my age. But you know, you couldn't, even if you had a cell phone, you couldn't have it in class and you couldn't be answering the phones in class. So if I'm in class, I'm in class. If I'm, you know, at the gym, I'm at the gym. If I'm going to the cafeteria, I'm at the cafeteria. I don't need to tell you every single step. But if I'm not available, obviously I'm busy. I'm doing something. And for that, that was an issue for him, to not be available, you know, to be on the phone 24/7. So that was a problem for me. So I already started feeling like I need to distance myself from this person, but I just didn't know how to do it, when to do it, the right way to do it. It was just, there was just so many questions. And again, I'm really navigating this alone. And so again, trying to focus on my studies. At the time I was a biology major. So if anyone knows that major, knows how difficult the classes were. I'm trying to focus. I'm also trying to do extracurricular activities. I was also working full time. I was doing work study at the time. So it was just multiple things going on at the same time. And again, I just was in a not so positive relationship at all. So fast forward, I'm really in the middle of my school year. And we have this actual ball. So that we have a ball and, you know, you get to invite people that don't even have to go to school. So I said, oh, this is a perfect way to invite my significant other to this event, dress up, actually have a great date, and be able to see the campus, see the other people that I interact with, and know what college life is like. And I kind of did that for two reasons. Number one, I wanted to be with him, but then number two, I also wanted to inspire him. I was like, maybe you see what a great place this was, it'll inspire him to go to college. Not particularly my college, but college. So I went to this event, you know, told him the date, the time, everything. He was late. So he was late getting, because again, you know, this is out of state. So he was late getting to my college. He was late. He was so late to the event was over. So he's actually, you know, waiting for me at my dorm, and I can see steam coming out of his ears. He's pissed. And not only is he pissed, and it's weird for me because I'm like, why are you mad? You stood me up, you know? But I think it was more mad that I still went to the event without him. That was number one. And then number two, he was upset at what I was wearing. He didn't like the dress I was wearing. He thought it was too revealing. It really wasn't. But again, this is his conversation with me. And I'm like, I don't need you to tell me how to dress. I don't need you to tell me how to look. I'm my own person. I buy my own clothes. And if you don't like it, screw yourself. Like, that's kind of what I told him. He was mad, and that should have been my red flag to say, you know what? It's late and clearly you're upset. Maybe tonight you need to go to a hotel and cool off. And if you feel like communicating tomorrow and we can discuss this later, that's fine. If not, you can go back home. That's what I should have did, and just looking in hindsight. But what happened, I brought him upstairs. I brought him into my dorm and I brought him upstairs. Not a word was said in the elevator. Get to my room, and as soon as I get into my room, he slaps me. Comes out of nowhere, not a word. He backhands me and slaps me so hard that I fall to the floor. And I'm yelling, I'm screaming. And what's crazy is that this happened. Now, at the time I was living in a dorm. I wasn't in a dorm by myself, obviously. I shared this dorm with 5 other women. And because it was the ball, everyone was out. So there was no one in the dorm at the time of this happening. So I'm on the floor. I think I'm bleeding. I think I'm swelling up. I'm hysterically crying. I'm cursing. I'm like, what are you doing? And he doesn't stop. I see red in his eyes. So what he does, he picks me up from the floor, puts me on the bed. So he's on top of me. He puts his hands around my neck and he starts to choke me. And I'm a woman. He's a man. I cannot overpower him at this point. And all I can see, I started seeing white. Like, I didn't see him anymore. I didn't see where I was. And I just start seeing white. I don't even remember if I can yell at this point. I don't know what he's saying to me at this point. And I think I'm more so in shock that this incident, and now that I'm seeing in hindsight multiple incidents prior, have built up to this, where he felt that the only way to get through to me was to put his hands on me. So eventually, and I don't know how much time has passed, eventually he gets off. He stops choking me. He completely gets off. And I catch my breath. It's hard to describe the feeling I felt at that moment. I felt betrayed. I felt lost. I felt used and abused. And I felt, of all the people, why would the person closest to me hurt me in this way? It's so many years ago. I still think I'm numb to it to some degree. I just don't believe that happened to me. And I don't know, it's just a very low point in my life. I've dealt with other issues before. We all have issues, but I just didn't think that. And I think the biggest thing was, I just kept thinking in my head, Lord, I don't want to die. I just don't. I didn't think it was my time. I didn't think this was the way it ends for my purpose in life. And so I was completely shattered by that experience. When I did come to, and he's kind of looking at me in disbelief. I don't know if he shocked himself that he did that or what. First thing I did was grab the phone and call 911. Because I said, I'm by myself. I don't know if he'll snap again and thinks that he's going to do this again. And I don't think I'll live the next first. So like something kind of grabbed my spirit and said, you need to get him out of there. I know physically I couldn't do it. So I said, you know what? I'm getting the police. Like I will never be this person that's going to allow this to happen. So I called 911. I'd say within 2 minutes. I've never seen anything. Campus police was at my room. They didn't even wait for me to open the door. They barged through the door. They saw me. So at this point, I'm bloodied. I'm swollen. And my dress, it was a ball gown, but it was spaghetti strapped. You can see the straps are completely missing because they're just snapped off. I'm in disarray. It just doesn't look, my hair standing on top of my head. It just doesn't look good, period. And they don't even ask him any questions. They immediately arrest him. They saw what I looked like. They immediately arrest him. And I believe he stayed in the county jail, which coincidentally is only like a few blocks away from the campus. But he stayed in county jail, I would say a good 3 or 4 days until his mother came and bailed him out. And what I did, you know, again, I didn't press charges against him at the time because, again, I was ashamed at what happened. Probably at the time, I thought part of it was my fault, which I know is not true, but I know at the time that's probably what I thought. I also said, I'm in college by myself. I don't want to go through a trial by myself. I didn't want to drag my family into this. I didn't want my friends involved because, again, this was an isolated incident that luckily no one was witness to. But what the police did, since there's certain laws in certain states that the police can press charges against a person if they feel or think they witnessed some type of domestic violence. So I honestly don't know how the trial went. I wasn't in attendance. I changed my numbers, my phone numbers. No, that's not true. I didn't change my phone numbers because my campus phone is always the same at the time. I mean, we had landlines, so I couldn't do that. But even after he got out, tried to call me all the time, leave me messages. I'm sorry. That should have never happened. What was I thinking? And eventually I just started blocking him. I just ignored the calls, ignored, you know, he was actually banned from the campus. So again, this all happened in my first year, among other things. But this happened in my first year. I stayed at the same college for 4 years and they banned him. So he wasn't allowed on the property. If he was found on the property, he would be arrested. He couldn't get access to the dorms at all. So it was a clear message, hopefully, to him that it was. And then I purposely made sure certain summers and certain winters I didn't go home. And that was one of the reasons I didn't go home. Not because I didn't miss my family, but I just didn't want I had this fear of bumping into him and then having to rehash and deal with all that. Because I was in the process of burying it, if that makes sense. So I say all this to say that every single person, first of all, you don't know what people are going through. And domestic violence happens no matter the age, no matter the status of the person. And it could be the closest person to you. So I am going to look up, I know if this is you or if you feel that you're starting to see signs or red flags and you don't have anyone to turn to, because at my age, my young age back then, I did not know what resources was available. We have so many resources now. I'm going to put below the hotline that you can anonymously call in for domestic violence. And the whole point of all this is hopefully to inspire those who are going through this to reach out for help. You do not want to be the person that sees the white light and then don't wake up. And that was my biggest fear. So I know this is completely off topic of my normal videos, but for some reason this weighed so heavy on my heart, and to this day I still carry this with me. I do call myself a survivor. I'm a domestic violence survivor. I'm very proud of what I went through because hopefully it did mold and change me into the woman that I am. I think I'm stronger for it. I know what to look out for. I know what I will tolerate and will not tolerate in a relationship. And and hopefully, like I said, you know, it will inspire or educate others to put forth on the path. A person does not love you if they are willing to hurt you. So I'm gonna end it there. So that's it. That's all that I have to say on that note. My name is Cambria. I am proud to be a doctor of nursing practice. I graduated with my doctorate last year, and I'm very proud to be happily married for almost 10 years to the love of my life. And I've been with this person, it's completely someone different, for going on 20 years. So he's completely the opposite of what I'm used to, and he loves me for me, and I'm so proud to be in a healthy relationship. So I wish nothing but happiness and health for you all, and we'll talk soon on the next video.